Christian Basics Part 14, Gifts of the Spirit Part 7, the Interpretation of Tongues. The interpretation of tongues is mentioned in 1 Corinthians 12:10, and at the very end of the verse where it says, "To another is given the interpretation of tongues." Now this is the ability to translate prophecy in tongues, and this gift is important to build up the church. Now I do need to mention that it is interpretation, not translation. Some people may give a message in tongues for like a minute or 2 minutes straight, and it might just be one or two words. And some people might give 2 or 3 words in tongues, and then it's translated as like 2 or 3 minutes worth. Every person who translates does it differently, or they explain it differently, just like we would explain anything else. This is just like if someone would ask me what color the sky is, I would say it's blue, and someone else answering the same question might say it's blue and there's clouds in it. It's just 2 different ways of explaining the same thing. One thing that's important to remember about the translation of a prophecy is that it needs to match up with the Bible. It cannot go against the Bible in any way where it is not from God. I've kind of mentioned this in previous videos, but one thing to remember is that speaking in tongues is different from prophecy in tongues. Speaking in tongues, which is your prayer language to God, does not need to be translated because it is spoken to God and no one needs to know what you're praying about. This gift is only to translate messages for the entire church, which is what a message of prophecy is. If you want to read more about this subject, you can read 1 Corinthians 12 through 14, the chapters 12 through 14. Those talk a lot about speaking in tongues, prophesying, and stuff like that. And I would also suggest that you read it in the King James, New King James, or NET translations, because the NIV Bible completely messes this up, and it does not mean the same thing at all. The NIV and the CSB Bibles do not differentiate between speaking in tongues and a message of prophecy. So if you read that Bible, it will tell you that you need to translate both of them, but the original text does not agree at all. So anyway, I hope this video helped explain this gift, and if you have any questions, put them below, and look forward to more videos coming like this from the Lord's Patriots.